So today we're going to learn and review our CKLA Lesson 10. We're going to go over two major things that I think we might need to review a little bit. Okay, so today we're going to go over two major concepts. The first one is our parts of speech. When we left my classroom, we went over the parts of speech, and I just really want to go over those one more time because they are the major parts and the biggest parts of our grammar section. The second thing we're going to go over is the subject and predicate of our sentences. So let's review our parts of speech first. Okay, so I know a bunch of you remember these parts of speeches, and we're just going to go over the four major ones and then some other ones that I think that we might need to review a little bit more. So our nouns are our naming words. Girl, boy, dog, cat. Those are our animals, our people, our places, like our school. Then we're going to go over our verbs. Those are our doing words like run and go and jump. They're our action verbs, okay? Then we have our pronouns, which they replace some words like his and her and this. Then we have our adjectives, and if you're in my classroom, you know those are my favorite words. It's like tall and fat and wet, and they just make our entire stories and our books that we read, they make it so much more exciting because they describe in better words what's going on. Okay, we went over some of these when we left our classroom, and I want to go over quickly a little bit more about them. So our conjunctions are our linking verbs, or linking words, so, and thus. And then we have our interjections. I tell my students, those are our expression words, and we like to say it with our whole body and our whole face when we see them in our stories. Like, oh, and wow, and yuck. Those are our favorite words to use our whole body to say. Then we have our prepositions. Those are placement words like in, and on, and at. They're telling us where our things in our sentences are. And then our last ones are our adverbs, our action words like badly and well and slowly. Okay, so we're going to do, as we reviewed our parts of speech, because you should already know that, we're going to go over a little quiz time, have a little fun. So quiz time, you're going to have a sentence at the top. There's going to be a word that's underlined, and I want you to tell me if it's a noun, a verb, an adjective, adverb, pronoun, article, preposition, conjunction, or an interjection. Remember, this is our fun time. We're going to have a little fun. And then we're also, it's okay if you get it wrong because this is just our practice time. So, question number 1. The blue sweater hung in my closet for a month. Now, our underlined word is sweater. Now, let's look at our words right here, sweater. Now, what could that word out of our parts of speech be? Sweater. Well, it's a thing. So, it's yes, it's going to be a noun. Question number 2, it's getting a little more tricky. We are going to Six Flags this weekend. Now, who wishes they were going to Six Flags this weekend? I know I do. But we, that underlined word, is going to be a what? Now, think really hard about this one. It's replacing another word. So, yes, it's going to be our pronoun. I want to buy new shoes tomorrow. Me too. I want to buy new shoes tomorrow. Now, that word tomorrow, what word out of our parts of speech could that be? That's exactly right. It's going to be an adverb. Y'all are doing so well with this. And our question 4, the shiny red wrapping paper is on that desk in the corner. Now let's look at our underlined word. It's in, okay? In, that's telling me where it's at. It's a placement word. So what out of our parts of speech is going to be our placing words? Look at our section over here. And that's right, it is going to be a preposition. It's telling us where that shiny red wrapping paper is. Now question 5, we're halfway there. There are 5 beautiful girls in my family. There are 5 beautiful girls in my family. Now that word beautiful that's underlined, is it describing a certain word in our sentence? Yes, that's right. It's describing girls. So our description words are called our what? Amazing job. It's our adjectives. And I told y'all if you're in my classroom, those are my favorite words because there are 5 girls in my family or there are 5 beautiful girls in my family. When you add that word beautiful in there, it makes your sentence just change altogether. Love our descriptive words. Okay, the boys and girls walk down the hall in a line quietly, like all of Miss Challeng's students do. The boys and girls, that word and, okay, now they're linking it together. So one of our linking words is called our what out of our parts of speech. Think really hard. This is one that we went over briefly before we left my classroom that Friday. Okay? Yes, it's going to be a conjunction because conjunctions join our words together. The boys and girls, you have to have that word and that joining word and to bring those two boys and girls together. 7, we're almost done. There are many fabulous places to buy shoes at the mall. Doesn't Miss Childs know that best? There are many fabulous places to buy shoes at the mall. Now buy, that's an action that I can do. You can go to a store and buy something. So our action words are called our what? Amazing job. It is our verbs. These are our doing words. They are verbs. They tell us what's going on in the sentence and what's happening. And in this sentence, they're buying things and they're actually buying shoes. Okay, so question 8. Those are Sylvia's books, so please give them back. Those are Sylvia's books, so please give them back. Now that word so, let's look in our section right here. Now what is so going to be? Is it an adjective? Well, no, it's not describing anything. Well, is it a noun? No, so isn't a person, place, thing, or idea. So is going to be a what? A conjunction. Awesome job. Conjunction. Question 9. Oh no! I spilled chocolate milk down the front of my dress. Oh no! Now I'm saying oh no with my whole face. You can see that I'm in distress. Oh no! Now what are our expression words? What are those called? Let's look at our list one more time. Amazing job. It's an interjection like wow and yuck. They give our sentences so much expression, and you can just see it on your face when you say those. You're not going to say, oh no. No, I spilled chocolate down the front of my dress. That's been chocolate milk. I'm going to say, oh no. You can see that. My expression, I'm in distress because I have actually spilled chocolate down my dress. And our last one before we go into our favorite subject and predicates is question 10. Are you going to the carnival at school this weekend? Are you going to the carnival at school this weekend? And it's the only one we haven't used in our entire list. The is a what? It's not a noun. It's not a pronoun. What could it be out of that list? That's perfectly correct. The is an article. Awesome job. So here's our answer key. Noun, pronoun, adverb, preposition, adjective, conjunction, verb, conjunction again, interjection, and our article was the on our last one. So let's take a look at the subject and predicate of sentences. Now we're going to talk a little bit before we go into our fun quiz time. We've got to learn about it a little bit. And I know this is review for most of you. So let's review our subject and predicate of our sentences because in every sentence you have a subject and a predicate. So let's look deeper into that. Okay, so subject and predicates. Okay, a sentence has 2 parts. It always has 2 parts. The first part is going to be your subject. It's who your sentence is about, and your predicate is going to be what your sentence, so what's going on in your sentence and what's happening. Okay, so let's look at the subject. The subject of a sentence tells the reader, which is you, who or what the sentence is about. Now, who doesn't always necessarily mean a person. It's your nouns, your grouping of nouns in your sentence, like Henry the dog. Henry the dog is going to be your entire subject. Now, what that Henry the dog is doing is going to be your predicate. But it could also be Miss Challenge the teacher. It could be you. It could be anything with your groupings of nouns. Your subject of your sentence is always who or what your sentence is about. So let's look at an example real quick. My mom walks every day. Now notice my mom is in red and it's highlighted. My mom is who my sentence is about. Now what she's doing is our predicate. Now if you look at it, what is she doing in our sentence? Awesome. She is walking every day. And I know a lot of you in quarantine right now are walking every day. So my mom is our subject. It's highlighted for a reason. That is who my sentence is about. It's about my mom. Now, walking every day is what she's doing. And the special word for what a sentence is going on, what's happening in our sentence, is called our predicate. And we need to be very sure when we talk about our subject and our predicates and which one is which. So let's look a little deeper into our predicate. So the predicate gives the reader, which is us, like I told you, information, okay, about the subject, such as what the subject did in our sentence. Like the pen dropped. The pen is what my sentence is about. It's not a person, it's a thing, it's our noun. So the pen is our subject. Now, what did that pen do? Let me really think about it. So the pen it dropped. So the pen dropped is going to be my predicate because that's what happened to the pen in our sentence. Remember, the predicate gives us information about what the subject did in our sentence. And when you're ever curious or you don't know the answer, find out who my sentence is about, break it down, and what happened to the subject in my sentence. Okay, so let's look at an example real quick. Same sentence, and we went over this. My mom walks every day. And I've already told you the answer to this previously. But what's highlighted is walks every day. Now, is my mom, is that what she's doing? No, that's the subject of my sentence. That's who it's about. Walks every day is what my mom is doing. And walks every day, a special word for that is called our predicate because that's what my subject is doing. Okay, so let's practice. Here's a fun time. I told you we always like to have fun in here, regardless if it's through Zoom or not. So let's practice, okay? All right, dogs make the best friends. Dog is highlighted. Is dog our subject or our predicate? Amazing. That was an easy one. Dogs is our subject because that's who the sentence is talking about. That dogs is our subject. It's who the entire sentence is about. And if you want to take it a little further, make the best friends is our predicate because it's what the dog is actually doing. They make best friends. Okay, so let's keep going. My phone is broken. Is broken that's highlighted in our sentence. Is that our subject or our predicate? It's our predicate because my phone is the subject of my sentence and is broken is what happened to my phone. Okay, so is broken is our predicate. My dad washes the dishes. Now, washes the dishes is highlighted here. Is that going to be our subject, who our sentence is about, or is that my predicate, what happened to the subject in our sentence? Washes the dishes is our predicate. Amazing job. Washes the dishes is what my dad, who is my subject of my sentence, is doing. It's what the subject is doing. Let's keep going. Henry is a great football player. Henry is highlighted in our sentence. Is Henry the subject, who my sentence is about, or is it my predicate? What happened to the subject? Let's look. Henry is the subject of my sentence. Henry is the noun in my sentence, and it's who my entire sentence is about. Henry is the subject, and is a great football player is telling me about Henry in our sentence, so that is my predicate. My grandma bakes delicious cookies. Now, whose grandma bakes delicious cookies? I know mine does. Okay, so let's look at the sentence. My grandma, highlighted as bakes delicious cookies. Now, is bakes delicious cookies talking about who my sentence is about or what my subject is doing? Now, let's look at it one more time. Bakes delicious cookies. Exactly, it's going to be your predicate because bakes delicious cookies is an action. It's where your verbs are, and that's actually what my grandmother is doing. So my grandma would be your subject, and bakes delicious cookies would be your predicate because that's what my subject is doing. It gives the reader more time and more information about our subject, which is exactly what that does. Now this one should be easy. The book is very good. The book is highlighted. So is the book what I'm talking about in my sentence, the main idea of my sentence, or is it telling me information about my subject? The book is going to be your subject. Great, because the book is who it's about. It's what our sentence is about. It's our grouping of nouns. The book is the main subject in our sentence. And is very good is our predicate because it's telling me about that book. Almost there. The computer is for Ricky. The computer. Oh, y'all get this one fast. Yes, it's the subject. Awesome job. The computer is what my sentence is about. And is for Ricky is what is telling me whose that computer's is. It's giving it ownership. And that is in. I want to go back to a little more. Let's go back. Okay. As I told y'all before, the parts of speech is a major part of grammar that always grows continually, not just in elementary school, but into high school and college as well. I know I used it. I want to go over these 4 major parts of speech for you, just to hone in on how important they are. Okay, so the nouns, they are naming words. Girl, Joe, cat, dog. Okay, pen, they can be person, place, things, animals, or ideas. And nouns we talked about in my class, I know you probably have talked about them in yours. We have something called proper nouns. They're the kings and queens of our sentences. They're amazing. They're so amazing that you have to capitalize them whenever you use them. Okay, so Berg Jones Elementary School. It's a school. It's a certain school. It's going to be capitalized. The name of your street is capitalized. They're proper nouns. Your name in any sentence that you ever write is going to be capitalized because it's a proper noun. I told you the kings and queens of our sentences get capitalized, just like our other nouns. So our nouns are our naming words. We're going to go over to our verbs. There are doing words. Run, go, jump. They're amazing. They tell us what's going on in the sentence. Like my grandma bakes delicious cookies. Bakes. That's what she's doing. She's baking. Okay? So those are awesome. They tell us what's going on. We have to have them. Pronouns. There are replacement words like we. Okay? I could name off my entire classroom. Or I can replace it with a pronoun we. We are working diligently. Instead of naming everybody, they replace words. They also can be his, this, her. If you can take something and replace it with one of those words, it's a pronoun. Okay? And then if you're in my classroom, you know adjectives are Miss Jones's favorite thing to use. They make everything better. Are you having a good day? Oh my gosh, I'm having the most amazing day ever. I get to come in here and teach. Amazing is describing my day. I always urge my students in my classroom to use adjectives when they're describing something. Oh, this is an apple. That is the juiciest, most brightest color of red apple that I've ever seen. Adjectives just make everything so much better. They make your books more interesting. They make a story come alive in front of you. And when you write, use all the adjectives that you can, because when you use the adjectives to describe touch or taste or the feeling of a new crisp book or the smell of your mom's or your grandmother's delicious cookies that she's been baking, it comes alive in front of you. And so my classroom, all of my students know that adjectives are my absolute favorite, but you can't have adjectives without having the other 3. Okay, and then we have our conjunctions and our prepositions and our articles and our interjections, and we know our interjections. Wow! I get to see my students today. Yuck! You have to use those, and it gives you emotion. All of these are necessary, and all of these are important, and I urge you to review these because they never go away. They'll always be here. Thank you so much.